Why does it do this? And we're on.
Hey, it's Phil from Phil and Tom Plus, here with Janine and Tom.
Good morning.
To do our morning podcast.
What's up, motherfuckers?
Bit early in the morning for that, Tom.
Bringing a bit of humour to the people at the start of the podcast, Mum.
Yeah, okay, right, okay.
See, now they're sticking on this podcast because they're thinking, what the fuck, who says that? Who is this guy? I want more.
Some lunatic.
I don't think they're going to say that.
Lunatic.
Oh, I think they're saying it. How many podcasts say, hello, it's Phil, and indeed, not one podcast on the planet that starts with, what's up, motherfuckers? Not one, Dad.
Are you
But
trying
different.
to take off Robert Williams' Good Morning Vietnam? Is that a take?
What?
Oh, you probably don't even know that music.
No, I don't.
Now, there's a scary thing happening here, people. I have no idea what's happening, but Phil has come to the table with a piece of paper
No, that's just we're booking a
with
time to
lots,
see one
lots
of our
of
consultants.
writing on it.
No, all it is I've written down that we're okay, this is an interesting thing. You're asking the question. I've got all these times written here because we have to coordinate a consultation with someone in America. We're in different time zones. And we'll have to write it all out and go, right, okay, that's
You have
the
to
best
write
day.
it all out. We can't just go to the world clock and go,
Well, I don't want to stuff up a time. Yeah, I thought it was this time, I thought it was that time, I'm in the wrong
you just
time
do
zone.
it. You just do it in a totally different way. Anyhow,
What's happening with our website, Janine?
the website's dead, died. HostGator's been a pain in the ass. I really don't know, but we're working on it. It's a daily thing, daily grind.
And the problem was there's too much on it. Is that what it is?
Well, that's what HostGator's telling us. There's too much on it, and I'm not getting a server because the server's what did I say? What, $140 a month or something to have your own server. So nobody else in the planet has to have a server for a little pissy website. So
But it's got all this. I mean, I'm thinking, for a year now we've put all this stuff on it. Do they handle that stuff or?
well, we
what
might
am I
have to.
missing?
We
What don't I
might
understand?
have to change hosts. What'd you say?
A brain.
What we need to add to the podcast is a rim shot. So whenever Tom makes it
who?
funny, I can just press a button and we get a boom boom boom.
Oh, like a drum roll or something.
No, it's called a rim shot.
Who? Huh?
Ah, forget it. Go ahead.
Okay,
Don't
well,
know anything
well.
about
What have you been
Anyhow,
working
so
on, Tom, this week?
can I just tell you, I had one of those
What are you
moments.
doing, Janine?
One of those moments this morning. The last couple of weeks, because for some reason Tom's quite happily handed over the recording of the podcast to me, and we've had a few IT issues with me doing the recording.
I'll just do her love.
And
What
you
are
know
you,
how
Barney Rubble or something?
you know how you just do these things and you think, how can I be so stupid, right? I had one of those revelations this morning, but the last couple of weeks with the podcast, I haven't told your father this, and you know how I go, and it didn't record.
Yeah.
Don't work.
Mm.
Don't work.
Mm.
Well, Mr. IT man comes over. Was it last week or the week before? No, it was the week before, because last week I did exactly the same thing, but in the end, 2 hours later, I actually worked out what I did. You can't play the podcast back
Mm.
if you've still got the microphone plugged in.
Yeah.
When you go play, you can't hear the
I've
recording.
I've seen Tom walk over and pull
So
it up.
I was sitting there getting very frustrated going, stupid thing hasn't worked. It says it's on the computer. It's playing. It tells me there's 20 minutes of recording, but I can't hear anything. And then me and Tom have to do another one because I can't do it. But I worked out that
It actually did record.
I did record, but Janine still had the microphone in it. And I had one of those light bulb moments this morning.
Uh-huh.
You know how I just love Adobe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do or you don't?
I just find it extremely frustrating, Adobe, that I just...
No, I don't even know what... I've heard of Adobe. What is Adobe? I don't know.
It's just like it's an editing tool.
Right.
Right. And tell me why my brain for the last 2 years has done this. I go in Adobe, I sign into my account, everything's up to date, blah, 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 blah. And then I get totally confused on how to navigate this stupid website and how to get into the program. Now, light bulb moment this morning. How do I get into any other program? I go start, want to get into Excel. Hit the Excel icon or go to the desktop, hit the icon that I want to open.
Yeah.
Yeah. How's this for a brilliant realisation this morning? After 18 months. Why don't I go into my desktop and hit my Adobe icon?
How did you ever think you were going to get into it by going online and signing
I have
in?
no idea. I have no idea. But I have been doing this for 18 months, getting so frustrated. So by the time that I don't even know how I get myself
That's
to the
as
stupid.
bad. That's worse.
stupid
That's
thing.
worse than Dad going to YouTube by going to Google and typing in YouTube and then
Hey.
clicking on
What
YouTube.
about when I was doing the webinars and I'm going, oh, I did the webinar and my face keeps coming up.
Well, then turn the camera off.
The camera off.
Well, at least I put my hand up for being. I really can't believe that I was that silly. But so I am now very excited that I've done my first 90-minute Adobe thing on that, thing I was telling you
So
about
how will
yesterday.
that help us with what we do?
Adobe is how you make PDFs and how you can take a PDF and edit a PDF, and now you can put images into a PDF. You can make ebooks. You can do all these sorts of things. You can send documents and have them signed. You can do thousands, trillions of things.
Right.
And Adobe also encompasses. Is that the right word? Encompasses. Photoshop, which is my next thing. Photoshop, Tom's new editing, After Effects. What's it called?
After Effects.
After Effects and something else.
No,
It's all to do with his editing. So instead of having all these little things that we were using, we've now gone for the big guns. We've gone for Adobe.
Speaking of big guns,
Oh my goodness gracious.
just doesn't miss a beat.
Oh no, please.
Well, I've just done a blog post, and as I do on Thursday, and I have to do an article as I do on a Thursday, and
Yeah.
I do some content for Facebook. What have you been working on, Tom?
Uh,
You had that lady come to do a camera thing, or
All my work's pretty much gearing up for the third, and
for what?
the third,
The two.
and we've really just been working on that room, painting it,
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you have. Yeah, revamping your room.
chucking it around.
Did you do that because you wanted to create the studio environment with the white walls?
No, that was because I said to Mum that I'm trying to get my work ethic up, and my idea was to change up my room, make it more of a work place rather than a comfortable place.
Right.
So I said, can we move it around? What's a good place to move it around so it's less comfortable, bed's not facing the TV, that sort of thing. And it kind of snowballed from there. And then,
Is that what it all has?
and then we were talking about, well, it'd be better if we got rid of the bunk because that makes a shadow. So she said, okay, we're ripping that out. And then the next morning she said, okay, get up now, we've got to go to my tent, we're painting the room. And that's how it happened. So
Yesterday we got the carpet in,
And the
which
carpet-
is so very squishy. and
So now it's
lovely.
even more comfortable.
no, well, it won't be because when a house guest leaves, the bed will go in there and it will be simply
A studio.
a studio. And like the way the
Office.
lady set it up, this photography lady, I can leave it like that. So I can just go in there and press record without setting anything up.
And why did we invest in the cameras? The camera. In your opinion, why did we? Because I've got.
Well, at the time, we had a very
at the time's a good point.
strong video strategy. Now that's on hold. We're still putting up videos, but that's just to keep our authority going.
What was the strong video strategy we were thinking about?
Well, we were
At
going
that
to have videos with the teleprompter.
Yep.
And
Which is
we're
still-
going to do it on the beach, and we needed a better mic, and the idea was to get a better camera, have a nice white background. We always thought of that, and we had to progress to that. And what's good is the way she set it up. The lady, I uploaded a video on. She went through some things, very basic things, on the camera settings. So now I know how to use the camera. It might take a bit of practice, but I know how to use the camera so I can change the lighting. And she set it up so we do have a perfect white background. I uploaded a video with a perfect white background. Mum saw it, fucking phenomenal.
And is this something we couldn't do before?
No,
Right.
it's because of the lighting. I didn't know how to do it.
Right.
We had 2 lights like that.
Mm.
Now she has a light. I'm here. There's a light, 1 light here,
Mm.
and then there's a light behind us.
Mm.
And you wouldn't have been able to do them with the iPhone either.
Yeah, you wouldn't have been able to do it with that because it just you need to be able to change the settings on the camera in such a small space. So now I know how to do that. I'm not going to say I can do it perfectly yet, but a bit of practice will get me there. And she also showed me these settings called render and export settings on the computer, so that when I upload it online, it still looks good. It looks fantastic.
Right.
Which is very important. So I'm very excited about that. And the carpet is awesome.
Is it?
I was just walking around yesterday, just with my shoes off. It was very comfortable. That's what's been happening.
So that's what's been happening.
Well, there you go.
That's it for the week.
And now it's breakfast time.
Now it's breakfast time, says Tom. Well, we hope you have a good weekend.
Hope you have a great week, and we look forward to seeing you on the next podcast. Not
As-
even seeing you, but hearing you. Not even hearing you, but you hearing us.
I see him. I'm Superman. Do you know Superman can fly 17 billion kilometers per hour?
Really?
Do you know Superman once spent 15 minutes inside the sun?
Really?
And when he came out, he could effortlessly move planets. Did you know that?
No.
You know how to mini black hole in his hand? It's pretty cool, right?
Really?
Yeah.
Superman did that.
Yeah.
And that's proven.
Yeah, it is. Well, it is.
Oh, in the comics.
That's
always.
right.
In the comics.
So I think there's important points. Because Superman just beat Goku.
See, I have
A
no
death
idea
battle.
who this Goku. Who is it?
Well, in the nerd world, Mum, just while we're ending it, in the nerd world, there's this thing called fanboys. And what fanboyism does is it makes you illogical to the truth. Right?
Fanboy.
Fanboy. It just means you're such a fan that you won't consider any logical argument against the character or game or anything. So,
So that's a bit
There's
like
all
you
these
believing
nerds that
Batman
love
beat
this
Superman.
well, I'm a Batman fanboy. So there's all these Goku nerds. You don't even know their character, but there's all these Goku nerds who are like, yeah, he's gonna fucking meet Superman.
But who is
it's all
he?
over. He's just a character in fucking fiction, right? And then they do this death battle thing where they go through all the stats, all the maths, all the comics, and Superman came out on top again, second time in a row, and everybody was so mad, and I loved it. Anyway, this doesn't matter. I just want to point that out. Everybody was really salty. Everybody was really mad. But the Man of Steel won.
Okay.
How it should be.
Okay, goodbye everybody. Have a lovely week on that note.